Hey, welcome again to Marriage of Three Strands. My name is Francis King, and I am excited for another week. We are still on the Beatitudes, and today's verse is Matthew 5. I believe it's verse 9. And the Bible says that blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. I've been really meditating on this verse this week, what it truly means to be a peacemaker. And we see here that God has called us to be peacemakers. And so what is peace? Because before we define what peace is, let us define what peace is not. So peace is not avoidance. Peace is not running away from chaos. Peace is not pretending that everything is okay, but it's not. I actually wrote here, peace is not the appeasement of parties. Peace at any cost, where you gloss over problems acting like everything is okay, is not peace. Peace, again, is not avoidance of strife. Peacemaker is someone who is actively seeking to reconcile people to God and to one another. So what does peace mean in Hebrew? The word peace means shalom, and it's a broad word related to health and wholeness and prosperity and harmony. It means perfect welfare, serenity, fulfillment, freedom, liberty. So when a Jew says shalom, they are wishing on another the full presence of peace and prosperity of all the blessedness of God. The famous Aaronic benediction of Numbers 6:24 to 26 brings out this idea very clearly. The Lord bless you and protect you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord look with favor on you and give you peace. So it is important to remember that peace in the Bible is always based on justice and righteousness. Where justice prevails and righteousness rules, they will also have peace. But without these two virtues, lasting peace is not possible. So there has to be justice and there has to be righteousness for peace to sustain. Again, the word peace in Greek, it's a verb that means to do or to make. So peace must be made. Peace never happens by chance, and peacemaker is never passive. They always take the initiative. They are up to and doing. So when these two words are taken together, peace and maker, it describes one who actively pursues peace. The peacemaker pursues more than the absence of conflict. They don't avoid strife. Continues to say that peacemaking is a divine work. God is the author of peace, and Jesus is the supreme peacemaker. Jesus came to establish peace. His message explains peace. His death purchased peace, and his resurrected presence enables peace. I'll repeat that again because I thought it was very powerful. So Jesus came to establish peace. So his message explained peace. His death purchased peace, and his resurrected presence enabled peace. He continues to say, Isaiah 9 verse 6, he's called the Prince of Peace. And so I just wanted to read that real quick, and then now we can, I can share some of the thoughts that I was just going through throughout the week as I was meditating on this word. I've been guilty of being the person that avoids, you know how they say peace at any cost. So I've always tried to, in my head, think like I'm a peaceful person by avoiding conflict, or I'm a peaceful person by pretending that everything is okay, just so that we don't have, there's no chaos, trying to avoid chaos. You see, even the Bible says that when he gives peace, he doesn't give peace the way man gives, and I've challenged this week to think beyond just protecting my peace, which has translated as either keeping quiet or running away or avoiding conflict, but being called a peacemaker, that I'm supposed to make peace. That if you think like you're in the kitchen and you're cooking a meal, you're making something out of the ingredients that you have. So as we were reading here, justice, and righteousness, you're bringing them all together to make peace so that you can go present it to a situation where two people have drifted from each other, either drifted from God or from one another. One of the things that I've learned in just doing life, either with your partner, with your friends, as in they are not gods. And at one point or another, they are going to hurt you intentionally or unintentionally. And we need to be able to know that God has called us to be peacemakers for a reason. And he modeled this when he knew no sin, but became sin that we may become the righteousness of God, that he can connect us back to our Father. And he paid with his life for us, to the point that when he was about to die, he said, "Forgive them, for they do not know what they were doing." That's how great of a peacemaker he was. He really did not care about what they did to him at the cross. All he cared was reconciliation. All he cared was to bring peace and bring these two people that one God created, but sin had separated God from them, and he had to be the bridge. So I have been challenged this week to be a bridge, to bring peace to situations, to bring peace to circumstances. And specifically in my marriage, what areas, and I'm challenging you too, what areas of your marriage can you be a peacemaker? And so at times it will look like I did not do anything wrong. I feel like they owe me an apology. And being a peacemaker means you taking the initiative and asking for forgiveness for the part that you played in contributing to that argument. And taking the initiative to not wait until bitterness starts just eating your marriage and your relationship. Not waiting, but being that peacemaker. As we were reading, it's an active role. It's not passive. You do not wait until the perfect environment. You go and reconcile people to one another and reconcile people to God. And so I, again, have been challenged this week, specifically on this word, to be an agent of peace, to make peace, to not necessarily run away or avoid or pretend, but to move closer, to move towards situations that require me to be a peacemaker. So it's not an easy verse, but we have been called to be peacemakers, and I believe that God has given us everything that we need to be able to be strong in this area of our lives. It really forces you to grow. It really forces you to be good at forgiving, because it's hard to be a peacemaker if you're not a forgiver. It's hard to be a peacemaker if you do not love to serve others. It's hard to be a peacemaker if pride and ego is what rules your life and you are unconscious that is what is ruining this beautiful opportunity that God is giving us. And he says in his word that we will be called children of God. It's amazing how sometimes you take some of these words for granted when you're called a child of God, and you think, it stops at that. There are things that you actively have to continue to do for you to continue to be called a child of God. And when I was reading this part, you will be called a child of God, I was asking myself, who is calling you a child of God? As I was reading this, for me, I felt like the world is watching me. And if they see me act like Christ and reconcile people to one another and reconcile people to God, they're like, that is a child of God. The Bible says you will know them by their fruits. And so my kids, in the context of marriage, they can really say that dad is a child of God because he sees how he reconciles and reconciles people to one another. The way he brings mommy and daddy together, and is active about it, and they're not like just doing silent treatment on each other because these kids are watching. So can your kids say that daddy and mommy are children of God by the way they do life, by the way they actively seek peace, by the way that they bring peace to chaotic situation, by the way that they make peace and they bring it and they're not afraid to sit down and have a peaceful conversation and ask for forgiveness? So that really caught my eye, that it is the world that is calling you children of God. When the world looks at you, do they say that you're a child of God by the way you do life? It's a challenge. It's a challenge for me. So I don't know what you got from this. I hope you are blessed. Please subscribe and share with your friends if this was impactful. And if there's anything that you got from this or you understand about this verse, please comment below. But thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend, and God bless you. Bye.